guest speaker today deserves a very special introduction, and I'm going to invite her up here with me, if she would please. Reverend Lisa Herklotz has actually been here in our Twin Cities community for a year or two almost. She's been a regular guest speaker for us during that period of time while she first completed her ministerial studies at Unity Institute and then performed an internship at Unity Minneapolis. And I'm going to get choked up when I say this, but she was just ordained this previous Monday. So we have the honor and the privilege of having this newly ordained minister with us today. How cool is that? So it also lets her off the hook if there are any slip-ups, because she's a newbie. And Reverend Lisa is now going to lead us in our opening prayer for today, which will be followed by our first congregational song.
Oh, thank you so much for that. I mean, it was an honor to be here to do my very first talk as an ordained minister, but that just made it even more special. So I so appreciate you, and I appreciate that. Thank you. Please join me in prayer. Whether you're sitting here live or you're watching us on the live stream, I invite you to gently close your eyes as we move our attention from our head to our heart. And just feel that heart space. There's a love and a light there that extends through you and touches and connects to each one of us. And as a community, we form a beautiful circle of heart light. And into this circle today, we're inviting fathers and those who have served in father figure roles, who have loved, supported, cared for, and raised children in one form or another. We're also inviting into this circle of love our African American brothers and sisters who throughout history have contributed their work, their wisdom, and their creativity to the formation of this country and our society, but whose stories have often gone untold. We celebrate with you. And together, in this beautiful heart space, we envision and affirm a world of equality where we recognize in a deep and profound way our oneness and our interconnectedness and can celebrate diversity without fear. And we see peace, harmony, and unity enfolding our world. And so it is. Amen.
Thank you, Lisa. Congratulations. That's so awesome. That's such great news. All right, our first congregational song is in the White Book. Hi, you guys. I haven't seen you in forever. It's nice to see you. In the White Book number 70, it's Welcome Home. Let's stand and sing that together. What the heck? Let's just do it. Everybody at home ready? Home is where the heart is, where peace and joy abide, a place for all seasons that beckons us inside. This fellowship of believers is a home and family, a source of light that shines so bright, just for you and me. Welcome home to this family, created by love and choice. It doesn't matter where you've been, in your coming we rejoice. We behold the Christ in you, with arms stretched open wide. Welcome home to this family. Welcome home. Thank you all, and seriously, welcome back, and have a seat. Thank you.
Let us now recite together our affirmation of faith. There is one and only one presence and power active in my life and in the universe, the all-loving and wise Spirit of God. Let us also recite our vision statement for unity in the heart. Led by Spirit, we recognize God within everyone as we co-create infinite love, peace, and abundance in our global community. The daily word for today, Sunday, June 20th, is Father's love. I give thanks for my Father and all expressions of fatherly love. I treasure my childhood memories of feeling safe when my father or a father figure in my life was nearby. I remember my father's encouragement as I was learning to ride a bike, as we explored the wonders of nature together, and as he taught me to use money wisely. Even when I made youthful mistakes, my father's sometimes stern but always wise judgment helped me find the way back to my right path. I give thanks for both the sacred human and the unfolding expression of God within my Father, and everyone who has blessed me with fatherly love. Today I pray for my father and for all fathers, affirming for each of them a growing wisdom, understanding, and willingness to nurture others with a father's encouraging love. Our Bible verse from today is from John, chapter 15, verses 9. As the Father has loved me, so I have loved you. Abide in my love. And now let's have our second congregational song,
Which is found in the Maroon Book today. It's the Wings of Song hymnal that you've got there with you. Song number 212, Weave 212, in the Maroon Book. Let's stand and sing together. Weave, weave, weave us together. Weave us together in unity and love. Weave, weave, weave us together. Weave us together, together in love. We are many textures, we are many colors, each one different from the other. But we are entwined with one another in one great tapestry. Weave, weave, weave us together. Weave us together in unity and love. Weave, weave, weave us together. Weave us together, together in love. We are different instruments playing our own melodies, each one tuning to a different key. But we are all playing in harmony, in one great symphony. Weave, weave, weave us together. Weave us together in unity and love. Weave, weave, weave us together. weave us together, together in love. A moment ago, still we did not know our unity, only diversity. Now the Christ in me greets the Christ in thee, in one great family. Weave, weave, weave us together, weave us together in unity and love. Weave, weave, weave us together, weave us together, together in love. Thank you. You can be seated.
The Unity movement was founded on prayer. We would now like to focus our attention on our prayer needs today. Please take a moment to bring to mind any prayers that you may have. Your prayer may be a prayer of joy or gratitude, a prayer of concern for yourself or another, or anything that is close to your heart right now. Those present, if you would like, please use the little gold-colored note in your bulletin to jot down your prayer requests. And now let us pray together. Our loving God, we know that all prayers are answered in the perfect way and time. Our hearts and minds are filled with the divine spirit as we feel the presence and power of God working through us. We affirm the highest good in all situations. Those present, please place your prayer notes in the basket at offering time or in our prayer box in the back of the room. We will hold them in prayer for 30 days here at Unity in the Heart and also send them to Silent Unity. Also, anyone may send a prayer request to our prayer chaplains at unityintheheart@gmail.com. And now it is my pleasure to introduce today's guest musician, Judy Vanar.
Good morning. This is a newly discovered song for me by a beautiful young woman who goes by the name Nightbird as a singer. And it's called Brave. I swear to you that I won't make you fake it and say that you're okay if you're wasting away. I swear to you that I won't make you beg for someone to stay when they want to walk away. And I swear that I'll never say that you are not enough. I swear that I'll never make you work so hard for love. Hey, dreamer, hey, sky heart, hey, silver lining eyes, hey, sunrise, hey, starlight, you are a mountain inside. You're brave, you're brave, you're brave, you're brave, you're brave, you're brave. I swear to you that I will tell the truth when the whole world lies to you, I'll be steady through and through. I swear to you that I'll keep you awake when it's easier to sleep, 'cause you feel it all so deep. And I swear that I'll never make you small. I'll never make you say you're sorry for nothing at all. Hey, dreamer, hey, sky heart, hey, silver lining eyes, hey, sunrise, hey, starlight, you are a mountain inside. You're brave, you're brave, you're brave, you're brave, you're brave, you're brave. And if I'm gonna break, oh yeah, I'll break like the dawn, and I'll break like the ocean. And if I'm gonna run, ooh yeah, I won't run away, I'll run into the sun. Hey, dreamer, hey, sky heart, hey, silver lining eyes, hey, sunrise, hey, starlight, you are a mountain inside. You're brave, you're brave, you're brave, you're brave, you're brave. You're brave, you're brave.
Thank you so much, Judy. I'm so glad that you were guided to that amazing discovery. That was wonderful. And now our guest speaker, Reverend Lisa Herklotz, has a message for us that will be followed by a meditation.
Thank you. Brave. Thank you. I'm feeling brave now. I love that because, I'm just thinking about what a journey it's been coming into the ministry. And now I'm at that precipice, right, where that's done and there's something brand new starting. So that song really resonated with me. And I can only imagine how much it must resonate with everyone after this last year and a half that we have had. And now everybody's kind of stepping out onto a precipice of something brand new that we don't really know how it's all going to unfold. But we can be brave. Thank you, Judy. You're my other treat today, as I get to hear Judy sing live. Today's just been full of gifts. I'm feeling very, very blessed. So this is Father's Day, and I do want to honor that. And I'm going to be talking a little bit about love, fatherly presence. And before I start, I want to remind us all that in unity, we understand that God is not a masculine being. That we have been in a history of a he and him, and that somewhere the feminine got lost, but it's coming back in. And we really live from an awareness of God as that wholeness that encompasses both the male and the female energies that are required for that creative process. So as I talk about God and Father today, I just want to start there, that we know God is whole. Now, honoring fathers, I really want to take a moment to honor all the people who have served, who have been in a father role or a father figure role. And that could have looked a lot of different ways in a lot of different people's lives. And whether you're a father or you're remembering your own father, this is a time to bring them to our mind and our hearts. Our relationships with our parents are probably the most significant and most impactful in our lives. And sometimes that's in really great, healthy ways, and sometimes it's not in such great, healthy ways. And sometimes it could have been a very challenging relationship. It could have even been a very fearful one. So I just invite you, whether your father is still living or your father has passed, and perhaps there's some sadness in remembering that, bring all those emotions in. Bring everything in that has been father to you and hold it in your heart. Hold that in your heart. Because I invite you as we do this blessing to know that this is an opportunity to celebrate our fathers, but it's also an opportunity for healing, forgiveness, and release. So if you will, I'm going to try to rub my hands together while holding a mic. We send out a blessing to all those who have been fathers or served in any role as a father figure in someone's life. We recognize and honor who you have been in our life, with the love, the support, or perhaps the lessons. And we, in this moment, behold the divine presence that is your essence. And we love you, we appreciate you, and we know the Christ alive in you. Thank you. Now, I'm going to continue on with the father theme. I have to remember to hold the mic. I haven't held a mic in a while, so forgive me if I get a little wobbly. I'm going to continue on with the father theme, but I'm also going to be including the chapter from the Butterworth book, Discover the Power Within, because I understand from Reverend Ray, you've been doing a series of talks on that. So he gave me that chapter, and I said, sure, and it all works somehow. Thank you, God. I'm going to begin by talking about the story of the prodigal son. This is in our Christian scriptures in Luke 15, and it's a story some of you may be very familiar with. I know I have read it many times, but if you haven't, I'm going to give a little synopsis of the story before I begin. But I want to say that I really love this story because there's so many angles and perspectives that you can consider in this story and then see what spiritual lesson it has for you. So I can go back to it 100 times and I will keep seeing something new. And today I want to focus on the father figure since that's who we're honoring. So the story goes a bit like this. There's a very rich man. He's very wealthy and he has 2 sons. And he decides to give his sons their full inheritance to do with what they will. So one son takes it, and he continues to work alongside the father on the lands. But the other son turns his back to his home and travels to some far-off exotic lands and squanders his entire inheritance on reckless living. Because he's lost his whole inheritance, he finally finds himself at his bottom, working on a farm, taking care of the pigs, and living in the pigsty. This is his bottom. And at some point, he wakes up in the morning and he says, you know, I could live in my father's house as a servant and live better than this. I'm going to go back and I'm going to beg him to take me back in as a servant. So he turns around and heads back home. Now the father is on the front porch and he sees the son coming up the road, his prodigal son, the one who was lost to him. And what do you think he does? Here's a son that just took his entire inheritance, wandered off, lost all of it, playing around, has accomplished nothing, and is coming home a bedraggled person. But he doesn't. He sees his son down the road, and he picks up his robes, and he runs down the road to greet him before he even reaches the house. Now, I heard an interesting fact about the culture at that time. If you're a person of status and wealth, you dress in long, beautiful robes. And it would be considered very unseemly to pick up your robes and go running down a road. You just would not do that as a person of stature. And this tells me what was in that father's heart when he saw his son, because he didn't care about any of that. He picked up his robes and ran to his son, threw his arms around him, hugged him, told him he loved him, brought him up to the house, dressed him in beautiful robes, gave him his room, and then threw a huge party, invited everybody to welcome him back home. The thing to remember about this story, this is Jesus telling a parable, because Jesus used parables of everyday occurrences that people could relate to, but he was trying to teach us a deeper spiritual truth. And when we look at this story, what this father did with his son goes completely against all their customs and laws. Because there is a custom in law that if your son squanders all his wealth on frivolous things, that not only is he banned from the family, but the entire community has a ritual they conduct that bans him from the community, and he's never able to return. So this is a really big deal. So I'm thinking, what is Jesus trying to tell us here? From a metaphysical perspective, and we just read it in your vision or your mission statement, there is only one presence and power. That is God. And God lives within us. The kingdom of heaven is within us. That is the home. So when this son came back, that father is like that fatherly presence within that is always extending to us our full divine inheritance. And it is abundance. We don't have to do anything to earn it. And it doesn't even matter what we've done if we've forgotten about it and squandered our inheritance off in some far land. I have to admit, there are occasions when I feel like I've woken up in that pigsty and gone, what am I doing here? I forgot. But all he had to do was get up and go home, which for us means turn within. And remember the innate divinity that lives within you, that is offering your full inheritance always. So in Eric Butterworth's book, Discovering the Power Within, he says this: we think we believe that God is the only presence and power in our lives, but we turn around in fear that our bank account will not hold out, or in resistance to that person that seems to be a threat to our position, or in apprehension over the dark road that looms ahead of us. Where do you find yourself this morning? Are you worried about finances? Have you been struggling with conflict in a relationship? Or do you feel like you might be staring down a dark road with some anxiety? That would not be unusual considering the times we're standing in. I certainly know I have felt that way, but I remembered then that it looks dark because I'm staring into the future of an unknown thing. It's not that there's actually something to be afraid of. It just looks dark because it's not known yet. And what's the answer but to just turn back and go home to our God presence within? That's where the light is. Jesus also went on to teach, "Be not therefore anxious, saying, 'What shall we eat?' or 'What shall we drink?' or 'How shall we be clothed?' For your heavenly Father knoweth that we have need of all these things. But seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all things will be added unto you." Jesus, throughout the scriptures, pointed to within for the kingdom. He said, where was the kingdom of heaven? It's within. It's within us. This is where it resides. So we are never separate from that kingdom. That is our home. So what are we called to do? Don't worry, be happy. That's not in my script. No, it's like, don't worry, pray. Don't worry, meditate. Don't worry. Worry is not going to offer any kind of solution that's going to ease your worrying, is it? And we're offered spiritual tools through unity, like prayer, meditation, affirmations. But where do those come from? They come when we recognize we've stepped away from home, and all we need to do is turn around and go back. Reconnect to that heavenly, fatherly presence that is there to sustain us and support us and protect us. Not through anything out here, but from within. When we pray, when we meditate, when we turn within, we remember that we don't have to rely strictly on our human resources. It's not that we don't use our human resources. We absolutely do. They're there for us to use. But we learn how to use them wisely when we stay in our divine home and move out from there. Then we have the wisdom, the power, the energy to not only know what to do, but the energy to do it. And the power to start manifesting all the blessings that are intended for us in this life. I wanted to share my own little story because when I was going to ministerial school, I was still working full-time. I was going to school at night. I was in a new marriage, and he was also in school. And I went through a period of time when I was challenged in my health. I was challenged in my finances. I was challenged in my relationship. I felt like I was challenged in every area of my life. There was like something I had to deal with. And those were I probably had a few pigsty moments there. I woke up and went, oh man, this is dark and messy and not fun. I am not enjoying my life. And it was actually a Butterworth quote that got me through it. It became my affirmation. This is my little sheet. I pulled this out. This was in my time plan, my day planner for work. I saw this every single day. And at the top of it was, God is my instant, constant, and abundant source of supply. Simple, short, but very powerful. I said it in the morning. I said it throughout the day. Every time I started heading down that road toward that foreign land or that dark looming road, I would just pause. I would turn within to my heavenly kingdom inside, and I'd say, no, God is my instant, constant, and abundant source of supply. Instant, because I don't have to wait, it's there. Constant, there's never a time it is not present and being offered to me. And abundant. So I offer you that affirmation because it got me through some very dark and challenging times. And it works because it's bringing out the truth in me. So what I'd like to offer you through the next week is when you find yourself kind of heading away from home and down that path towards that foreign exotic land that looks so good until you get there and suddenly you're depleted of energy and finances or whatever your resources are, to pause and remember to use the tools that we have at Unity of affirmative prayer, of meditation, of reconnecting to our fatherly source. That presence within. And use an affirmation. I offer you mine if it works for you, but there's many, many words. Find the ones that really resonate for you. And with that, I'm going to let us take a time to bring this idea into a little deeper into our hearts and into our experience as Dennis leads us into our meditation.
In the silence there is peace. In the silence there is unspoken joy. In the silence there's release from a world full of chaos and noise. So I wait for these precious moments when I hear all that could never be said, and right here in this holy silence I find God, I find myself.
So I invite you to sit back and relax just a little bit more. Let the chairs support you fully. Rest your hands comfortably on your lap and bring your attention to your breath. And take a deep breath in and a slow out breath. Do that one or two more times as you use your breath to feel yourself become centered and still and quiet. This is a safe place and the perfect moment to just be here. And I'd like to take you on a short guided meditation and then we will move into the silence. I want you to imagine, if you will, walking down a lane towards a house. Feel the crunch of the gravel or the grass or the pavement, whatever that path is made out of. Feel that beneath your feet as you're moving towards this house. And when you look up towards this house, you see a figure on the front porch. It's a figure of light. And you feel a sense of connection. And as you get closer, that figure gets brighter, and then that figure sees you. That figure of light sees you walking towards the house. And it glows in a way you have never seen before. And your heart, you just feel your heart open as this figure comes running towards you with wide arms open. And as it gets closer, you feel such a sense of familiarity and safety and love, unconditional love, as the figure wraps its arms around you. And your hearts melt together. And it whispers in your ear, I love you. Welcome home. Welcome home. Stay with this experience as we move into the silence for a few minutes. And as you're ready, knowing that this love, this unconditional love and connection is your own defined spirit within, offering you your full divine inheritance. Claim it. And bring that sense of love and safety and home with you as you come back to the experience of being in this room, in this moment, in this service. Knowing that God is your instant, constant, and abundant source of supply. And so it is. Namaste.
And so it is, this perfect moment. And so it is, this perfect truth. And so it is within my heart. And so it is. And so it is, this perfect moment. And so it is, this perfect truth. And so it is within my heart. And so it is. And so it is.
Thank you, Reverend Lisa, for blessing us with your words and your presence today. And we bless you as you go forward in this newly chosen career of service to humanity through your ministry. Now is the time when we acknowledge that all we have comes to us from God, our source. With our gifts, we express our openness to give and receive and our gratitude for God's generous supply. We deeply appreciate all those who continue to support our community financially.
My gift goes forth on the wings of love, and it lands where it can heal and bless. It returns to me, multiplied 1,000-fold, as the universe says yes, yes, as the universe says yes.
As our ushers circulate through the throng to collect our offerings, we would like to remind you also that those who wish to contribute electronically will find a donate button on our website after the service. Or if you would like, you may mail your contributions to us at Unity in the Heart, 1898 Eigelhart Avenue, St. Paul, Minnesota, 55104. And now let us join together in our blessing of our gifts. Divine love and wisdom flowing through me, bless and multiply all that I give, all that I receive, and all that I am. And now it is time once again to hear from Judy Vinar.
Wow, good job. I don't mean to look surprised. I'm not surprised. I'm kind of really honored the first day that everyone's here in person for the first time. That's really exciting. And we just did that at Unity in Minneapolis. And that Reverend Lisa, which I'm already ready to call you Rev. I should work with Reverend for just a little while before the dust settles. That was beautiful. Instant, constant, abundant. That's coming to a choir song near you very soon. I'm holding on to it. This song is a good one for today because it's all about singing together, which is something I'm going to get wispy. I've missed. I love singing for you online and to the camera, but to have your bodies here and to know that we can sing together again. Okay, I'm going to get over it and start singing. Here we go. This song is by a wonderful guy named Eric Bannon and Chris Gosser, his friend, and they're from North Carolina, and I know them. I know Eric, and when he sang this for me, I was like, "Oh, can I use this? This is so cool." Sacred spaces we are making when we gather and we sing round the campfire in a street choir. Join the circle, let it ring. Ain't that some amazing grace? A sanctuary we create. Well, bring your troubles, tell your story, pass the old guitar around, raise your voices, make it joyous, listen for that holy sound, and ain't that some amazing grace, a sanctuary we create. Come on now. Da-do-way-oh, say-say-say-oh. say, sing it again. Da do way, oh, say, say, oh, da do way, oh, say, say. Feel your heartbeat. There's a rhythm. There is music all around. Find another sister, brother. Take a stand on holy ground. Said, ain't that some amazing grace? A sanctuary we create. Sing it again now. Oh, da do way, oh, sing you say, oh, da do way, oh, say, say, say. Instant constant. Da do way, oh, sing you say, oh, da do way, oh, say, say, say. Oh, ain't that some amazing grace? The sanctuary we create. Oh, ain't that some amazing grace? The sanctuary we create. Abundant.
Yeah, instant.
Thank you, everyone, for creating such a meaningful spiritual experience this morning, those here, those remote, as we launch a new phase for community. And during the upcoming week, we at Unity in the Heart hold you in the light of God's love. So let us now close by singing the peace song and saying our prayer for protection. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as our creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.